So I think at this point everybody knows about this issue, but since PokeBeach just posted an article talking about this issue, I guess I'll just quickly cover it in this video. So we all know that Prismatic Evolution stores are not getting nearly as much as they usually do, and they're definitely not getting as much as they ordered. And this article is basically just highlighting that they interviewed some local store, and yeah, it's pretty bad. So you can see here, and this is the main thing I want to get at, is that, by our polling, which I don't know how much data they got, I don't know how many stores they asked, so this is kind of just whatever information, but it says an average US store is receiving less than 10 to 15% of what they requested to buy from distributors. Now, this doesn't really mean that much, really, because this is what they requested and not what they usually get. That's a big difference because let's say they usually request, let's just make it simple, 100 Elite Trainer boxes for a specialty set. Let's say this time they requested 1,000. Like for them to get 10%, they just get what they normally get, right? But we have heard from other people online saying that the people that actually have stores saying they did get less than usual as well. But this number is somewhat just whatever because we don't know how many stores ordered a lot more than they usually do. So like I said, this statistic is whatever, but we just know that it is pretty bad, and this just kind of highlights it and shows how bad it really is. And the reason why it's so bad and these stores are not getting nearly as much as they want is one, obviously because of the popularity of the set, a lot of these stores are ordering more, but a lot of stores that normally don't order Pokemon are ordering, and that's what this owner is saying. So they say here that, I think a large part of the issue is that stores who do not normally order Pokemon are requesting to buy the set from distributors, small bookstores, tabletop game stores, probably like sports card stores. They're all buying it because they know it's popular, they know where the money is at, so they're requesting to buy it now. So if you think about how many of these small stores that have access to Pokemon but never just bought it in the past but now are doing it, it cuts that piece of the pie out from these places that normally order Pokemon, and now they're getting cut. Like that's how this works. And yeah, that's why the supply is bad. It's not because it's like underprinted, it's just because a lot more people are ordering it that usually don't, and that's why these stores that order Pokemon usually, they're getting less because these other stores are taking some supply from them. So yeah, that's the problem. And when you really think about this being the actual issue, you got to think about the whole reprint situation, because everybody likes to talk about reprints, right? Think about how many people, how many stores are now buying Pokemon because they see the money, Prismatic Evolutions, right? When this set gets reprinted, it's going to get reprinted like every other set, right? But when this gets reprinted, how many of these stores are going to actually be buying Prismatic Evolutions, when it gets reprinted? Probably all the ones that have been buying it, now. So think about these stores that are not getting enough on this, I guess, first wave, you could say. When this gets reprinted, right, whenever it happens, maybe a few months later, whatever, you think they're going to get as much as they're getting now? Less? More? Like they're probably going to get, if they even get more, like they're probably going to get barely any more. And if, what I'm thinking, I'm guessing they're going to probably get less on the second wave. Like it's not going to get any better because all these stores are going to all order again when it's available, right? So this problem is just a continuous cycle unless they literally print like 10 times more than they usually do. But I don't think they really can do that because even, this owner is saying that, because people always talk about why doesn't Pokemon just print more, right? So this is what this owner said. They said that one could argue that, Pokemon should have foreseen this set was going to be more popular than other sets and attempted to print more of it than other sets, but I think they were already printing at capacity and they need more lead time or additional printing facilities to satisfy demand. So that's what a lot of people have said, and I agree with that. Like people think that Pokemon just has an infinite amount of printers and just they can print everything like crazy and just magically just make cardboard appear. Like they actually have to print this stuff. And the whole idea for Pokemon to buy more printers and make a whole factory like just for the set, obviously that's not very reasonable. That's probably not going to happen. So I'm guessing they're probably printing as much as they can, because think about it. They probably knew this demand was here and they probably did print to capacity, but still not enough. And some people can't seem to grasp that idea that that's probably the case, because think about it. If they know a set is going to be this popular and they know the demand, why wouldn't they print more? If they know it was going to be this bad, it would be to their advantage to print more, because people want to say artificial scarcity, but when a demand's this high, they could have printed more and it would the scarcity would still be there, but it just wouldn't be as bad. So they would have left like money on the table if they didn't print more, right? And that's why I really think that they did print as much as possible, because they would have made so much more money if they did print more, but they just weren't able to. That's really what I think happened, and that's what I think some people have a hard time understanding, is that they probably did print as much as they could, but there's just so much demand. All these evil investors, scalpers, whatever, they're all buying. All these other stores are buying. It's like everyone's buying, and that's why there's this problem. And that's why, honestly, there's talks about reprints and everybody's saying wait. And this is why I made videos talking about this. Everyone's saying to wait to buy Prismatic products. I'm specifically talking about products. It might work in the long run. Maybe in 2 years of time, when this market cools down, maybe then you'll be able to readily get them for MSRP. But even still, I feel like the demand for the set, I mean, we see 151, the demand. Like that 151 is like, what, a little bit over a year old now? And the products are still super expensive after all those restocks. Think about Prismatic. So the whole weight situation, like you can do that, and I understand people not wanting to pay these prices, but if you do want products, I mean, honestly, I've told you guys this before. I mean, I wasn't personally planning on buying, these products at inflated prices, but based on the market price and not MSRP, you just got to pay it. Like that's what I did. Like I didn't pay total market price. Like I got under, but I paid for all the products I bought. I paid more than MSRP. I can tell you that much. So this problem, it can't really be solved in my opinion. I don't know if it'll ever be solved just based on the demand we're seeing here. And just a lot of people, I guess, are having a hard time really understanding why this problem is the way it is and what the actual cause of the problem is, because people think that this is all just going to be okay in 6 months of time. When it gets reprinted, it's going to be okay. I honestly, I just don't really think so based on the just problem we're seeing here. Like, I don't think it's going to get better. And, this owner is also saying that it's unhealthy for card collectors and players to not get access to a set of release. I agree. Like, honestly, I would like to get this set at MSRP if it was available, 100%. Because I paid over MSRP. I paid the inflated prices. I'm not complaining because it is what it is. But yeah, it is unhealthy. I want to get them at under MSRP because I know I would do good with it. So why wouldn't I want to, right? So it is a problem. But it's a problem that everyone is facing. And that's what some people have to understand is like, you can complain all you want, but it's going to get you nowhere. You can leave the hobby. It doesn't matter. It's not going to go away. It's just a problem. You're going to have to deal with it. Now, I've told you guys this also before. You can skip this set. You don't have to buy at inflated prices. Nobody's forcing you to. You can get mad at these stores for charging market price for things which literally make sense, but people don't understand it. You can get mad at them, but guess what? I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, you don't have, they're not forcing you to buy the product. If you want it, you have to pay the money. Like people in this space, I guess, have a hard time. I don't know why people complain so much. You're not being forced to buy this stuff. Like, seriously. So if you want it, you have to pay. If you can't pay it, then you're just gonna have to just miss out on it. And you don't always have to buy products. Like, I know people like to open products for fun, right? And that you have to now pay like $10 per pack. Yeah, it is crazy, but that's this is a hobby. This is not a necessity. And if you want to enjoy it or whatever, you have to pay whatever their price is. And these stores, yes, they're charging market price. You're gonna have to pay the prices. But if you don't want to if you're just priced out, I mean, I'm sorry, but that's life, right? And, if you just can't afford the packs or whatever, just buy individual cards. Yes, it won't be as much fun. I know there's fun to opening packs. I get it. But at these prices, if you're really priced out and you can't afford any of this stuff, you probably shouldn't even be buying this stuff, to be honest, because honestly, I feel like the cards, especially if you want the cards that are expensive, if you want the Master Ball card, if you want all these Evolution SIRs, they're probably going to be hundreds of dollars. And if you can't afford, some of these Prismatic products already as it is, you're probably not going to be able to afford the cards. So for you guys out there that are priced out, so I'm sorry, but it's just, it's the market. It's literally the market. It's how it's going right now. So you can try to wait. How long will you have to wait for it to go back to normal? That you can buy an MSRP? Honestly, I don't know if it'll ever happen, based on the problem of the situation, which is literally just all stores ordering from distributors, the amount of demand. This is probably never gonna, in my opinion, I can't, maybe towards the end, maybe 2 years in time, maybe they print this into the ground like Crown Zenith when the demand cools off, maybe. But at least for the next year, I don't see this going away. I think when this gets reprinted, literally nothing's going to change. And when you also think about, people thinking, oh, this is going to get reprinted, the price is going to go down. Who in their right mind is going to sell Prismatic at under market price? Let's be honest here. You think stores are not going to like now seeing the demand for Prismatic, you think these stores are not going to charge market price now? All the stores that had pre-orders available for MSRP, a lot of them probably going to cancel, right? You think now them knowing this, they're going to, when they get their reprint, supply, whatever, you think they're going to charge MSRP for those? Like the market price ain't going to change. And if it does change, it's going to be so minuscule, it's going to quickly rebound. So the Prismatic situation, it sucks. But people like me, I don't complain, I just buy. So, you can call me an evil scalper, which I am. I've called myself that because I just accept the fact. But guys, I didn't even buy at MSRP. Like, I literally paid inflated prices. So am I really a scalper that I just paid over MSRP that people didn't want to pay? I mean, I just spent the money. So, yeah. Prismatic Evolutions, it's a problem. A lot of people are mad about it, but it's life. And yeah, I accepted the fact and I paid the money. And if you can't afford it, just skip it. Just wait for the next set that comes out, pre-order ahead, but then your pre-orders might get canceled. This situation, it does suck. It does. Because I'm not happy I have to pay over MSRP. Other people aren't happy. Nobody's happy. Everybody is upset. That's just the state of Pokemon right now.